Hello, folks. I hope that you are having just the best day in the world today. And keeping yourself safe in our modern days today. Hey, today I'll take a look at Dracula's Guest by Bram Stoker. Now, my copy of this, as you can see here, it's actually published under the title Dracula's Curse. This is the missing first chapter of Dracula, which was published by his widow posthumously. So my copy of this book was published in 1968, and it was owned by my mother. I inherited this. You can see her signature here on the first page. Her maiden name was Snyder with an I. Now, it was published in 1914, posthumously. She didn't know if he removed the first chapter from the novel, or whether the editor did. So we don't know what happened with that, but it's an interesting thing. So what I want to do is to follow and honor my mother, who owned, this now short story, this missing chapter from the thing, which was published as Dracula's Guest in 1914, and as Dracula's Curse in this novel, which was also published as the novel The Jewel of the Seven Stars. So I wanted her to go ahead and read it and give you my review thereof. So let's take a look at Dracula's Guest. So what winds up happening at Dracula's Guest is it's set actually in Germany. We haven't reached Transylvania yet, which happens in the first chapter of Dracula regularly, which is actually the second chapter. So we're actually set in Germany, and actually, if you've read Dracula, our main character who starts out the story, Jonathan Harker, he has some German, but his German is limited. That's basically how he gets along with folks in Romania. So you can imagine how much more limited his story, his language is here in this short story. Now they're traveling, and they reach a place, and there is a road that goes down this kind of deserted thing, and Jonathan Harker asks for them to go down. It's very scenic, it's very quiet, and so our point of view character asks the carriage driver if they can go down that thing. He says nope. He absolutely refuses to. And the more Harker asks him to, the worse his English gets as a result. And the worse his English gets, the more likely he is to use German, and the more likely he is to use German, less persuaded Jonathan Harker is, because he doesn't know German that well. He probably knows German about as well as I know French. Which is this: I had 2 years in high school and four semesters of it in college, and that's it. My French isn't that good. So my French is probably not as good as his German is, it seems. And he's traveling in Germany probably. So it seems like it's not all the things and so forth. But he finds out that there was a suicide, and they had buried him at the crossroads, and his horse is getting really skittish. And ultimately, the horses flee, will break off and flee after being there for too long. And so Jonathan Harker, our point of view character, will begin to explore down the road himself with his staff. And that's pretty much it. That's about 2 or 3 pages into a short story that's about 11 or 12 pages long in my novel. And then that's it. That's the missing first chapter. Now, what I think of it so I do like it. It's creepy. You definitely tell it's written by Bram Stoker, that has a different style and tone than Dracula does proper, and it's set at a different location, being in Germany. But it sets up things very nicely. You can see where it comes from, where it sets up the concepts of Dray of Hearts stuff from the very first chapter, so you can see what he was doing with it. But I can also see what about removed. The pacing isn't as good. It gives away some things early on. There's a different time. And as a short story, rather than as chapter 1, it's just not as good. So I'm only giving it a 7 out of 10. So there you are. I'll go ahead and leave you to it. Have you read Dracula's Guest or anything else by Bram Stoker? I would be more than happy to engage you with it further in the comments below. If you like this video, hey, why not hit that subscribe button? Because there's going to be a lot more of following fantasy, science fiction, and horror like this one. And finally, I want to thank you so much for taking some time out of your day and watching and investing in my videos. We all have so many things that are happening in our lives, right? And we're being pulled in so many different directions. So the fact that you spent this time with me is incredibly humbling, and I appreciate it. And thanks again, and have a great day.